Hey, Damon DeMarco here for CreateX3.com. Thank you so much for coming. And before we go any further, please hit subscribe and ring the bell. Make sure that you get in on all the latest videos I create in the hopes that they help you lead a more creative life. So I open the floor to an AMA Ask Me Anything marathon. People are writing in and they're asking all sorts of questions. And it's really my privilege to share with you my answers to some of your questions in the hopes that they might help you figure out your creative process. Trumpet Guy 723 asks if I have any advice for overcoming writer's block. Sure thing, Trumpet Guy. I can share with you my top 3, I'm going to make it top 4, suggestions for overcoming writer's block. Step number 3, or trick number 3 for overcoming your writer's block is this: stop trying to be good. Just stop. That's usually what's impeding a lot of people. I've found when I'm blocked by something, it's because I have this idea and I want to make it something really good. I want to make it as good as this author or this author that I respect, or if I do this right, it's going to be so good. Well, there's the problem right there. If I do it right, you're setting up a false expectation for yourself. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and you're saying not, hey, I'm going to write this down because I'm a writer and this is what I do, and it's going to come out in the way that is inimitable to me. You're saying it's got to be something like this, and immediately you're splitting yourself in two. That's what psychologists call it, by the way. They call it splitting, where rather than allowing the oneness, the totality of existence to be what it is, we say, well, that person's good and that person's evil, or this part of me is good and this part of me is bad. It's all part of you. So what you have to do is literally give yourself license to suck as a writer. Really, just write it down. If you're having trouble writing something, like you're in the middle of a novel, for instance, this has happened to me before, and you're writing about it and you're writing about it, suddenly you grind to a halt. Ask yourself if you have expectations for that particular chapter or paragraph or character or whatever it is that you're working on that are actually interfering with you having fun and getting your work done. If you find that you're putting pressure on yourself to be more eloquent or more highfalutin and your vocabulary or more stylistic or whatever it is, abandon that immediately. As a matter of fact, don't just abandon it, do the opposite. If you want it to be a very poetic passage, write it in monosyllables. If you want that character to be blazingly clear about what he or she is doing, write it in an ambiguous style. Be vague about what it is that they're doing. Play the opposite. This is a trick that you learn in the theater when you're an actor. When somebody runs into the room and they're about to confront their nemesis, don't make them be angry. Make them be happy. It's chilling when that happens. Or if somebody's running across the road to meet their lover, right? You're like, oh my God, he or she's finally here. You run across the road, and that's when you should get hit by the bus. It's playing with the opposites of things, because the natural human expectation is going in this direction. Well, that's when you should drop the bomb. And vice versa. When things are falling down, have them go up. It's like farting at a funeral. Or laughing at a funeral. People do it all the time. Crying at a wedding. It's a very natural human reaction. Give yourself the permission to play around with things and write poorly. Tip number 4 for overcoming your writer's block: give yourself time to not write many times. It's absolutely essential that you do this. I remember reading John Steinbeck's Journal of a Novel, and I'll put a link to that down here as well. And I forget if he was writing The Grapes of Wrath or if it was East of Eden that he was writing, but the whole thing is about him journaling about him while he's writing this, what turned out to be a great work of American letters. And at one point he said, it's Friday and I'm putting the book away now. I'm just putting it away. Because if I write anymore, it's going to damage the book. I'm pushing too hard. I know a lot of writers who say they write every day. I, in fact, try to write every day. I usually end up doing it. But, if a day goes by because something really important happened, I'm not going to sweat it. And sometimes when something momentous happens, something life-changing, the birth of a child or the death of a loved one or a huge vacation where you're just traveling all day, writing can get pushed aside. There's a couple ways of dealing with that. Many times what I do is I just take a notebook with a pocket notebook and I carry it in my pocket, and so I'm scribbling constantly, and that makes me happy, and a lot of good stuff comes from that. But you don't always have to be writing. As a matter of fact, sometimes when you're really, really in a funk, the best thing you can do is get away from writing entirely. Go on a trip, make new friends, move house, try putting on a new suit of clothes, get out of the bed on a different side. If you always get out of the right right side of the bed. This time, get out of the left side of the bed. If your morning routine is to have coffee, have no coffee. See what that does to you. Break your routines is what I'm trying to say. What is the definition of insanity? Well, you know, it's the doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So change up your routine. And if writing is your routine and has been for a long time and something doesn't seem to be working, trick number 4 is give yourself a break, get away from it for a little while. Do everything you can not to write. Literally refuse to write. Disallow yourself, prohibit yourself from writing, and see what that does for you or to you. It could be that after a while you just go completely insane and you have to get back to it, and that could be a positive thing too. What I'm saying is that your relationship to your writing talent is a very, very intimate personal thing, and it becomes one of your lifelong preoccupations. And the people who are close to you who get it are the people that you should be hanging out with. And the people who are close to you and don't get it and take offense at that for some reason, they're never going to get it. They're just not. That's been my experience. And so you need to let them go for their own benefit and your own, and something else comes in and fills that gap sooner or later. That's just nature's law, right? Nature abhors a vacuum. So if you are blocked while you're writing, those are my 4 really down and dirty basic suggestions for how you can overcome or work through or work with writer's block. Again, for CreateX3.com, I'm Damon DeMarco. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Keep the questions coming. They're a lot of fun. I love talking about these things, mostly because it's so great to be with a community of other like-minded people. It's a pretty robust community that we have here, and I'm very, very thankful for it. I'm thankful for you watching. So for now, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay creative. Hey, Damon DeMarco here. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about my Break Your Story course, which is now being offered right here online. And you can find that right over here. It's over here someplace. CreateX3.com/courses. If you're the kind of person you've been struggling for years with a story idea, a novel, it could be a screenplay, it could be a play for the stage, either you just haven't been able to get it down on paper for some reason, or you've tried to get it down on paper, you get halfway through it and you're like, I'm lost. Break Your Story is exactly what you need. It's a 6-week course. The classes take place online, so you can study with us anywhere in the world. I confine each section of the class to 5 students. That way you get maximum personal attention. There's a lot of writing involved, so please don't come thinking that I'm just going to put in 6 hours and that's going to be it. No. Recently I talked to one student and he said, what's the overall goal of this course? And I said, the goal of this course is so that you won't need me to collaborate with you anymore, because you are trained to do your own work in your own way, to your own level of mastery, to your own level of satisfaction. I want to train you, to give you suggestions and you ideas that are going to make you the best that you can be, in the hopes that you can then blaze your own trails and go off and do your own thing. The Break Your Story course is a great way not only to get you started, but to show you how story structure works and why it's important, and how very powerful it can be to get an idea of your story and really nail some things down before you actually go in there and do it. And it still leaves plenty of room to improvise. The best way to be spontaneous is to plan things out. If you're interested in the Break Your Story course, again, go to CreateX3.com/courses. Again, for CreateX3.com, my name is Damon DeMarco. Thank you so much for coming. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay creative.